I'm the tower of power, too sweet to be sour. I'm funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place.
Welcome everyone to OUCHAMANIA 3.
I know I'm sexy.
It's time.
I've got the looks that drives a girl wild. I've got the moves that really
I'm the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Yeah.
What does that mean, guys?
That means it is once again that time of the year, Wrestlemania season, but more importantly, OUCHAMANIA 3.
Fucking bullshit!
Oh yeah, at the highest level, because we're talking about that thing that we love so much. We talk about it all the time, but today we talk about it because it's topical. It is Wrestlemania.
Woo! Who's excited?
I'm very excited about Wrestlemania this year.
I'm erect. Are you erect?
No, but my nipples are.
Shut your damn mouth.
You can milk me.
Oh my!
Gross.
Stupid idiot!
How dare you? What'd you say?
Chocolate milk. Choco milk. Hey, did you guys hear they're going to be putting blue milk on the market? True, what is it? True Moo was doing the Star Wars blue milk.
This is nonsense. This
Oh,
is
the-
disgusting. No, I'm not trusting that.
What the heck are those called?
Listen, this is Squid
vanilla
Squad.
flavored.
Wampas or some shit?
Hold up. Squid Squad, I need you to pay attention to me real quick. Look in the camera. Look in my eyes. I need to tell you something.
Bantha.
I need you to know to stop trying all these new weird products because you never know. One day there's going to be like doo-doo butter or something in there and you're going to be like, I didn't
Doo-doo
know. And
butter.
that's your fault. That is going to be your fault.
Doo-doo butter.
Yes. Doo-doo butter.
That's nasty.
Absolutely. Just like all your mindsets.
That's disgusting.
It's gross.
Now, the blue milk sounds weird, yes, but I'm more open to it because I've had blue beer.
Blue beer.
And it was Star Wars.
See?
They made the Bantha milk.
All right. Keep it up.
Hey, dude, that honestly was a freaking great beer. It was a great beer. And I think
It's always great to
the
find out
maker
what's in
was
it.
like Creative Creatures, and they were based out of San Diego.
That's disgusting. Sorry. That's disgusting.
I'm telling you.
I'm
watch.
telling you, I'm going to order some one day, and I'm going to bring them, and you're going to drink it, and
No,
you're
I'm
gonna be
not.
sold.
First of all, I don't drink.
I'm going to tell you it's
Tell me. That's
shake. It's a shake.
We don't do this. Thick blue beer. No, it just I can't mess with new products because I barely trust the old stuff. They start changing the ingredients and the stuff I love and it doesn't taste the same. Then I find out like if you spend any amount of time on the internet, you're gonna eventually run into something M&Ms are made with beetle
Genetically
semen or something.
modified.
And you're like, come on, man. Everything is genetically modified. The things that say like organic or all natural, and then you look at it and it says natural flavors. What the heck is natural flavors? We
You
have no
don't
idea.
wanna know.
Yeah.
Embryonic fluids.
They tell you anything and they start using these quotes and stuff like that. Anyway, I want to talk about wrestling.
I was going to say, then you went off on a tangent. Come on. Bring it back. Bring it back to
did.
WWE, WCW.
Says the guy who brought
AEW.
up the blue milk and True Moo. Thanks.
Well,
for
it's
that.
just because he said choco milk, so I had to like get away from his racism. How do I do that?
Okay.
What do you mean, my racism?
So how updated, how caught up are you guys on WrestleMania?
Pretty caught up. I saw last night's episode. Nothing really happened. I saw last night's
The only
episode.
match I know that's going on in WrestleMania is Cody and Roman.
That's it.
Okay. Wow. You're fired.
Doyle, educate the man, please.
I will kill him later. We discussed many things of why I hate him, but now my hatred is evolving.
reached
to
new
murder.
highs.
Yeah. That's best friend talk for anyone who doesn't understand. I do not really intend to kill him.
The views of George are not the views of the Ouchcast.
They should be, but Enrique?
Yeah, you know, I watched last night's No, yeah, I watched this week. I know I watched, and then I just read a lot and watch YouTube videos a lot. So I'm pretty caught up.
Okay, yeah, that's all you really need to do. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I haven't really watched the full product in years. It's YouTube clips and highlights that I really like pay attention to, because I'm gonna tell you this: when it comes to wrestling, the matches themselves are rarely good. They kind of suck because the majority of the talent don't truly understand the difference between spots and psychology. Psychology sucks you into the match. Spots make you go, oh, wow, that was cool. Yeah. And I think that's the real big difference between WWE and AEW. WWE, at the big pay-per-views, their matches are full of psychology. AEW, at their pay-per-views, their matches are full of spots. And so AEW does cooler stuff, and they get away with doing cooler stuff, and their matches can be a little bit better at times. But I think overall, when you take out the psychology, there's no reason to care. And that's, the thing. Speaking of care, it's the reason why I think everyone got sucked into this whole Cody Rock thing in the first place. Because Cody, everybody cared about what was happening with Cody for this last year.
Right.
And then the Rock gets inserted and everyone cared. We were really mad. Like, this is, I know we talked about it on this show a bunch of times. This is bull crap. How could they do Cody like that? Like, this is lame.
I got a question. Do you think that was planned?
No, because I think the Rock is good enough to know that he was going to respond however the crowd responded.
So an article from yesterday has Roman Reigns like talking about it, like outside of wrestling, and saying that his end game was always going to be The Rock, but that because of the we want Cody movement, that they pivoted because of that. So that really did change it. So I don't think it was so much planned. I think that the idea was supposed to be like, oh, The Rock's coming back and he's big draw and Roman Reigns has had it for a long time. Let's put him together and Rock can then be the champion and everyone's going to be excited again. But turns out that's not what people wanted.
And in all fairness, last year's WrestleMania was actually supposed to be The Rock versus Roman.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that is still going to be down the line. Like, that's the direction that
maybe
they're
SummerSlam,
to.
maybe something.
They're still building
have
to
no
that.
choice.
But
Yeah.
right now, they saw that, like, the audience really did get behind Cody because there was absolutely no reason for them not to. The direction all year has, the story all year has been Cody and his redemption to get back to that point where he gets to face off against Roman. And so, I mean, he went through Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Thank goodness he won that without losing, because we know. I won't make
He's coming back.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
I don't think
all
he'll
the
ever come back.
implications.
All the implications are he's coming back.
I don't think he will.
Explain. You need to the second source. Shows receipts.
First off, they had taken him out of the new game, and all of a sudden they're starting to trickle in more of him back into the new game on the 2K24.
Okay.
He's been put back into the website itself,
Yeah.
which he had been removed, but now he's back.
Interesting.
And rumor has it, they're trying to do some kind of PR, some kind of angle where they have him come quietly back.
Well, of course.
Then my question is, I mean, I know we're not trying to get into. I mean, we at some point we want to talk about the scandals and stuff and the latest developments.
Vince
but
did it.
yeah, of course, yeah, yeah.
What scandal are you talking about?
The one where he's accused of being a rapist.
Come on out, you rapist!
That's the one.
That's the one.
He's talking to laryngitis.
So
Unbelievable!
Gross.
So what? So okay. So how is Brock Lesnar coming out clean from this? Because I mean, he was pretty heavily implicated in some of it, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know, but I don't see, me personally. I'm never going to see the guy different.
Okay.
It's just.
I don't think anyone is. It's kind of like when Hogan became a racist, and then like all of a sudden, like he was getting booed at WWE
I don't
shows.
think he became. I think he was outed as a racist.
Yeah, that's what same difference. I mean, but like there are so many people who spoke up on his behalf and said, like, like Booker T, Mark Henry.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, he's not racist." Like, what are you talking
For
about?
someone who says brother a lot, I mean, that's shocking.
He just says something.
Let me tell you something,
Everybody says
brother.
something.
First of all, he was listening to rap music, so
I wonder if he ever messed up and changed the brother to a hard R.
Booker T did.
No, I mean,
yeah.
Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I know. Booker
The
T.
Booker
I'm saying
T
Hulk
clip
Hogan.
is still
Yeah,
a classic because,
dude.
is it Mean Gene?
Mean Gene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we said-
We're coming for you.
And like you can see him like just kind of like he kind of winces a bit. And then
There he goes. There you have it, folks.
He like shakes. He puts his fist up, and then he kind of shakes his head, like realizing, "Damn, I messed up."
Yeah, no, he turns his back a little bit, and then sensational Sherry controls him like, it's okay.
Because he was supposed to say "sucker," but he says, "I'm coming for you, N-word."
Did you guys see that they took the?
He didn't say hard R.
He said the soft
R. He said soft R.
Did you guys see that someone redid that entire clip in the N64 like NWO versus WCW like pixel art? It is great because they got it all like they used.
I gotta see that.
Oh, I gotta send it to you.
Where's the dude? That's the kind of thing you need to send out.
You guys just skipped it.
No, I
totally
click on
sent it to you
everything.
I click on everything you send.
I click on everything you send. Everything.
I pretend to.
I look at everything.
Stupid idiot.
That was when Jericho was great.
You just made a list.
Okay, but I'm excited. There's the one thing that I'm not used to is that it's 2 nights. Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Let me see. Show me.
Just play it. Play it. Put it on the.
Come on in, if you would, Sister Sherry. Booker T.
Face it towards us so we can see the clip.
A match that really is turning out to be something else because I guess of the high stakes. The winner of this one getting a shot at Hollywood Hulk Hogan and the WCW Heavyweight Championship of the World. The winner of this 4-corner match.
That is an ugly-looking girl next to him.
That's how the games look back then.
Here tonight, indeed, is a big, big match in all of their careers. However, I should point out for the record something different. The way you win this one is with the first pin or the first submission. And Sister Sherry, you may be.
I miss Mean Gene.
Oh, me too.
These two men
He was.
face each other.
When she got
We have
with
everything
Harlem Heat, they called her
planned out.
Sister
We have
Sherry.
our strategy down
That's
to a
racist.
minute point. It doesn't matter if they're
Cancelled.
together.
Burn the
We
witch.
have a plan.
Burn the witch.
We have gone over and over and over again, and no matter which one's in there,
Booker T's hands.
we're behind
He
the
keeps
other.
on doing
Divide
it.
us.
He keeps going up and down. What the fuck is this?
Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. Listen.
And I expect the same thing is going to happen in this 4-corner match.
Let me tell you something, Gene Oken. You out here talking about a clique. The only clique you need to know about is the Harlem Heat and Sister Sherry. See, because what you dealing with here is the brotherhood. It's nonstop from this point on in WCW. We take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the Giant, we want the gold sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. And the Giant, we want the gold sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
And there's Hulk Hogan, like this. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they
and
got
sad.
that down so perfect, and wow, that was.
So Booker,
You know what? That was
I miss
the most.
Booker T.
That was the most interesting Booker T's been though, because like he was so energized at that moment. It was, you know what I mean? I felt like when he first came in to WWE at the time when the whole transition between WCW was happening, like they had wanted him to be kind of like The Rock in the WCW, and so he was very kind of stiff and weird, and I felt like he wasn't authentic. It wasn't until he started kind of loosening up and more of his his identity started coming through in a way, and it worked better. But oh man, that clip is classic.
I love Booker T, man. I think
Booker
he's one of the
T,
best. He's a national treasure.
Yeah, he is. They knew that he was going to. They knew that his character was totally a Rock ripoff when in the later days, but they knew he was uber talented. So when they first brought him in, they kind of had to remold him and repackage him. And so when they gave him the spinneroonie, and he would do a move and then he would drop down and then break out a breakdancing move, and he would never explain why he did it, but the crowd just went crazy for it, and so they started milking it. And in WCW, it never meant nothing. He would just do it, and everybody would be like, whatever. But then in WWE, they made it like the people's elbow. Like that was the moment that the crowd was waiting for. So he would drop down and look at his hand, and the crowd would go crazy. And then just when he was about to do it, like someone would kick him in the head, and the crowd would boo really hard.
Speaking of the people's elbow, do you guys remember when Ric Flair did the people's elbow on The Rock, or tried to do it?
Yeah,
And he missed.
Well, he was going to he's doing his fucking peacocking, his strut and everything, and he was doing it, and he did one side to side. But when he went to, and he was actually going to get the elbow down, The Rock bounced up and then hit him, and then he missed, and then that was fucking classic though. Ric Flair always oversold, and it's what I loved about the guy.
But his overselling works,
Yeah,
even
it
for
works.
his
It
psychology,
works. Oh, yeah.
especially as a dirty old man. Like,
Yeah.
he would just like be overconfident and like.
But dude's got to retire though, dude. I saw him at AEW. He's like, I'm sorry, that's sad. That's just really sad.
Let's get into AEW real quick. I know we were supposed to do a recap of Mania, but we talk about it all the time.
It was far, bro. Okay, go ahead.
AEW. Okay, did you guys have potential? Like, did you guys see potential in AEW? Did you guys have high hopes?
Fucking bullshit!
No, it does have. It had. It doesn't anymore.
Okay, I will say this. I was so excited about AEW, and for me, AEW died the day Cody left.
Yeah, I agree.
I still am a huge MJF fan. Woo! But there's not enough for him to work with there, and that's why I want him to get out.
Rumor has it he is.
I'm hoping.
I heard him and the Hardy Boys.
Their contracts are coming up, but okay. So Tony Khan just threw a bunch of money at like some new acquisitions, some New Japan wrestlers, because Tony Khan is a fan of spots. I know this. I know this for a fact. That is the kind of wrestling he likes, because that's what they do in New Japan. New Japan is known for this thing called Japanese strong style, and basically strong style is when you get hit and you don't sell a move, and then you hit each other really hard. You do it in a way that like the other person in the ring can take it, but you don't do it where you're injuring the person for real. So like they'll really kick each other and slap each other, and like over time it really takes a lot of Asuka versus Minoru.
Yeah, I want to talk about that 2014. I was hoping to do it quietly and transition. well done. Well done. That's when the spoilers really come in, my guy.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, killed it. Yeah.
Shut your damn mouth.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Doyle. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen to The Rock.
Okay. So what do you think about? It doesn't matter what you. Okay.
Come on out, you rapist!
Yeah, we're all professionals here.
No, I really like. There's times where that strong style stuff works. Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura at NXT when Nakamura made his debut. That was a great match. That had a lot of Japanese strong style, but there was a setup in a. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but every single time Nakamura comes up, I remind my wife called him shit stain Nakamura.
Yeah.
I was thinking that right now.
It never went away. So whenever I love him, I fucking love Nakamura, but I cannot say his name without thinking shit stain anymore. Thanks, babe.
The only reason I can't separate that name and give it to Nakamura is because that's what Jim Cornette calls Vince Russo.
Shit stain. I love.
He can't legally say Vince Russo anymore, so he just calls him
shit stain.
Yeah.
Really? That's hilarious.
Yeah. So anytime if you're listening to him, he says, "Oh, back when I worked with
shit stain."
Yeah.
So
Jim Cornette.
The thing about like,
God bless
Japanese wrestling, like I mean, man, hardcore stuff there, dude. Like, I'm glad you brought that up because I had just, I really like Asuka. Like, really,
I
like
love
her.
Asuka.
Now,
well, I wore my T-shirt here a couple times with Asuka.
Yeah, and prior to that,
Undertaker, but yeah,
in Japan she was called Kana, and she's kind of a self-made wrestler in that when she came out, none of the popular wrestling at the time in Japan really embraced her. So she created her own her own wrestling group and was able to gain popularity. So at some point she challenges Minoru, the guy's name Minoru Suzuki, and this guy is like a legend over in Japan. I mean, he's in the Wrestling Hall of Fame here in America. He's a legend. And so she challenges him for like a mixed match, which were common. And the thing was, she said, "I don't want you to hold back." And dude, like when you watch the footage, he is beating her up, choking her out, dude, and she's taking it. Mind you, it's so uncomfortable to watch because he's genuinely beating her up. And so then the question, at first when people saw this clip and resurfaced, they're asking like, well, why did he do that? Was he mad? Turns out like when they talked to him, he didn't respect her before, but he did accept the match. And he said because she was able to, withstand all of that he respects her now more. I think ultimately it was old school against new school. And so he had a chip on his shoulder. He took it out on the ring, but at the end, she withstood it. But if you guys haven't seen this stuff, it's a 2014 clip.
I'm watching it now.
Minoru Suzuki?
Yeah.
Okay, so Minoru Suzuki is known in Japan for how hard he would hit his opponents and how much he would attack and just beat his opponents. And so he never really respected women's wrestling or some of the lighter weight guys because he was like, they're not tough. They don't really care about this. They're not really trying to make this seem real. And so apparently Asuka, which is, she's in the WWE now as Asuka, but she was in Japan, she was that girl. She was really, the one that people would say oh, she's tough, whatever, yada. Oh my God, this is seriously uncomfortable to watch.
Straight up full clip smacking her down.
I'm watching it too.
And the thing is, you saw the referee tries to break it up. Legitimately, he pushes him away, continues. Yeah. Another person tries to break up, pushes him away. He is going in full force. But it turns out she's telling him don't stop, go. She's telling him continue.
Someone comes in and tries to save her.
Yeah.
Stop hitting her. She's already dead.
Don't touch my man.
But you know what?
He loves me.
That's the thing about wrestling, and I have to point this out because there's going to be a lot of people who.
Shit. Sorry.
There's a lot of people who will get this impression that it's barbaric, it's ruthless, it's raw, and it goes back to what I was saying about psychology versus spots. So as psychology,
I'm gonna mute my mouth.
As psychology goes, if you watch a match like that is as the audience, how could you not want someone to intervene and help her? You know what I'm saying? And it draws you in, and he's not doing the most dangerous flips and stunts, and he's not doing all these things, but it really makes you hate that guy. How could you not hate that guy for
was just
open
slapping,
hand
punching,
slap?
and elbowing.
Yeah. And kudos to her for being willing to do that, but to capitalize on the audience's hatred. Traditionally, what you would do is you would send someone out who could challenge Minoru Suzuki, stand up to him one-on-one, it could be a girl, it could be a guy. They've had some great intergender matches in history where I think she's in WWE now. Her name is Scarlett Bordeaux. She had a
Scarlett for with Karrion Kross.
Yes.
That's Scarlett. Huh?
She had a great match in TNA versus.
So she does wrestle.
Yes,
because I've just seen her as a valet.
Yes, because WWE only wants her as a valet. And let me just say, if you go back and you watch her matches, there was something that she had in TNA that they took away from her in WWE. They have not used her Karrion Kross to their full potential.
They haven't used them.
Yeah, go back and watch her match against Disco Inferno. She was taking power bombs and moves and getting
Inferno.
Disco Inferno. He basically came out as this old misogynist that was you don't belong in wrestling, and she was like, I challenge you to a match. So she got in the ring and she had a great match with him, and it's totally I'm just letting you guys know, of course there's a little bit of fan service because she's an attractive woman, but trust me when I say she had that it personality as a wrestler. If she would have come out after that as a female wrestler, she would have been like the Trish Stratus of TNA at that moment.
Oh, that would have been cool because Trish is badass. Trish, Becky Lynch, Asuka.
And for those fans that booed Maxine Dupree, and that's a whole thing.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Trish used to suck when she first started. She was awful in the ring. I remember how bad
I remember
she was.
It was bad.
And so if you give them a chance to develop, some people do and some people don't. Dana Brooke never really developed, probably because they never gave her the chance to. Mm-hmm. But there's a level of you need to lay your stuff in so it looks real, and then there's a level of okay, you need to spice it up a little bit, or you need to tone it down in some cases. I'm looking at you, Nia Jax.
It's not like the one chick with the red hair. What the hell is her name?
Becky Lynch?
No. The red hair.
Eva Marie.
There you go. The one that sucked ass.
Eva Marie was terrible in the ring.
No matter how much they try to push her, she was trash.
The problem is she needed
Sable
to be
was
in the
terrible.
No, Sable was better than Eva Marie.
Yeah, she could at least
shot the front door.
Yeah.
Power bomb.
That bad?
Yeah, that bad. That would be a great match, though.
No, it wouldn't.
You know who would be a great team? Just because I don't think I'm ever going to get a chance to insert it later on. Is freaking Santino and Screaming Norman.
You're fired.
Santino
outta
and
here.
Steven Norman.
A freaking hilarious
I don't know who those
comedic tag team
Okay.
right there.
That was,
Santino
remember, I
Marella.
stopped watching for years. So.
Santino Marella is this Italian guy. Look up Santino and Sheamus. They have one of the funniest. They have one of the funniest.
Oh, the
promos.
Cobra thing.
Yeah. So Santino used to do this move called the Cobra, where he would pull out a snake sock, and he'd put it over his arm, and then he'd stab you in the neck with his hand.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's a great.
Wasn't there one when it was Mick Foley had Sacco and he had the thing they were fighting each other?
The Royal Rumble. That was a great moment between the two at
Fucking
the Royal
hilarious.
Rumble.
But go on.
And just, we were talking about like New Japan. We're talking about like these spot shows. That always leads to what we call like death matches, right? And so these death matches are matches where like you start pulling out like tables and trash cans and, kendo sticks. But then when you start getting more hardcore, you start going to like glass and thumbtacks and fire.
Darbinelli.
Yeah. Oh my God. So
Jesus Christ.
I asked before we went on air if you guys had seen Sting's last match, because there is one spot in the match that if you haven't seen, you should definitely go see. But it is what I would call stupidity. It is Darby Allin sets up a full pane of glass over 4 chairs on the floor, over thin matted thin mats that is sitting on a concrete floor. He set up a 20-foot ladder in the ring, went like not all the way to the top, but like 3/4 of the way, and did a senton through the floor, and they moved, and he crashed through the glass and just hit the floor,
which is about 23 feet or something like that, because the ring is about 3 feet tall.
Yes,
plus mid-level. So yeah, he went about 20 something feet.
Yeah, and let me just tell you, for what purpose? This was not the end of the match. This did not conclude the match. This was probably like
mid,
like a little before midway through the match, and he still came back into the match to do moves and try to help Sting finish. But it's
terrible.
nonsense. It's stupid, because one, you're gonna kill yourself.
That literally is like playing the video game.
Yeah,
like you're trying to do as much cool shit as you can and still get up and try and go mid-match, when that literally should be the match ender or something that happens at the end of the match.
Hi, I'm Darby Allin, and welcome to AEW. Ding, 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 ding.
Well, in that match, Sting was thrown through the table, and he doesn't sell it. Gets up and then gets thrown through the glass. Right? Is that kind of what happens? As well?
Yeah. Yeah, that was amazing fucking thing. I like how he brought out his two sons dressed as his past selves. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I just showed George the clip, and he said, "Dang that, screw that," because it's stupid. Like, okay, first of all, the person on the floor moved like 5 minutes before he jumped, so it's not even like realistic. Second of all,
here I come. Woo!
How is this going to end the match? Like, it's not. It's just supposed to be like there is no principle behind the psychology where that's going to end the match.
Right.
So that's why it's dumb. Because if you want me to be able to watch and suspend my disbelief, I don't need you to be like Ric Flair and Jimmy Snuka or Steamboat, but like I need you to like at least like make it make sense. Why would you go that far to hurt somebody? Did he like, okay, when John Cena's mom got spit on by Randy Orton, I can see you going to those kind of links to get back at the guy, something like that. If that was the case.
How much did they pay them for that, man?
Not enough, because it was in the promo at the end. He's talking and he's like, "Oh, I wanted to make Sting's last match memorable," and then he goes, "I'm gonna go to the hospital now and get checked out." Like, no, duh, you should have left a long time ago.
I remember seeing the blood just oozing out of his back. It's like, dude,
you got that huge piece of glass
sticking
right out of the back, right where his lungs at. So cool. I love how they're zooming in with the camera and stuff, and they're like, "Man, this is intense." And it's like, okay, can he breathe? Is a lung punctured? What's going on?
Now, I will say this: if there had been other ladders and the bad guys had thrown him off that ladder,
makes sense,
and that would have been an injury angle.
Nasty.
Like that, doing that. To be taken out of the match, to be like, oh, he's injured for months. Look, he came back from that. That would garner the audience's like respect because he went through that and they would have known, and then it would have also made sense that the villains put him through something so ridiculous. But because there's no one there, because it didn't really mean that he was going to end the match, it's kind of stupid.
That was a spot that would have really elevated to freaking heels.
Yeah. That would have been his Jeff Hardy moment had they got the psychology right, but they didn't.
Is JR still there?
JR still there?
JR came back.
His damn mind?
No, he came back to call Sting's last match, so he was calling that moment.
I'm saying, like, as far as
how
we describe.
Oh my God! Don't do it! Don't do it!
Like as a spot.
You son of a bitch!
You know, because JR obviously comes hardcore from.
Oh wait, more like this. You son of a bitch!
Wow.
Well, I'm just saying.
So, I wanted to ask you guys: are you guys familiar with XCW? By chance?
No.
Okay,
I saw the note. Please.
Okay.
Indulge me.
Elaborate.
Okay, we're talking death matches. We're talking stupidity. We're talking crazy. So, wait. I think it's XPW, not XCW. So, for any of the fans out there who are fans of hardcore wrestling,
they're hardcore fans.
Yeah, it's XPW.
Just don't look up hardcore. It's a whole different thing.
If you guys have never heard of XPW, it was porn meets wrestling. And the promoter...
that was in Dark Side of the Ring.
Yes.
I remember that.
I sent you guys the episode just in case you wanted to watch it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Because as I was watching it, I was like blown away. Because I had heard of XPW in the 90s. It was supposed to be...
I did see that, yeah.
It was supposed to be this promoter who wanted to partner up and be a fan of like ECW. And he wanted to like work with Paul Heyman, but because Paul Heyman like ignored him, he started his own promotion, but he was funding it by filming porn, and he was filming like the most gruesome, hardcore, crazy stuff in porn. He was pushing the envelope. So like stuff that like might be like whatever today, he was pushing the envelope in the 90s. And so in one part of his building, he would have a wrestling ring and a wrestling getup. In the other part of the building, he would have like a porn studio. And so,
sorry, he has a live event here in Los Angeles.
I would not go.
April 13th, 2024.
I don't trust that
called
to be sanitary.
Baptism in Blood 4.
Yeah. So there was this wrestler named the Messiah who was like their number one guy. And there was a woman named Missy Hyatt who was an ex-porn star who married the boss. And in the process, when she married the boss, she would have fights. And she would go to the Messiah, and the boss would like tell his number one guy, the Messiah, like he would vent all his problems. So the Messiah was kind of in between their marital issues. And so one night, I guess she went to his house, and the rumor was that they slept together. And for years, no one knew. But then there was this incident where two guys go to the Messiah's house after this incident, and they break into his house. They just walked in, and he's like playing video games and looking into the TV. He sees their reflection, and they just jumped him. But like this guy's a wrestler, so his cardio for fighting is pretty good. So these guys get gassed out, they get tired, they hold him down, they take a pair of clippers like of garden shears, and they clipped his finger off.
Yep.
And they're like, you know what you did? This is from the boss. And they like beat the crap out of him. They like threw him through his fish tank, but like over time he's like holding one and like choking him out, and that guy's getting gassed out. So eventually these guys get so gassed out that the Messiah actually ends up like out fighting them, but then they run out the front door. But now he's like crawling around in all his glass and broken stuff all over his house, and he's looking for his finger, and he can't find it. And before he can find it, he passes out, and his roommates come home and they find him, and they called the ambulance, and he was able to get to the hospital before he was killed. Now there is no evidence strictly proving that it was the owner of XPW, but there have been confirmations of, the Messiah sleeping with Missy and don't cross the boss. And the boss has said stuff like, yeah, you don't F with me. I'll take you might lose a finger. He said stuff like that to other employees that he's worked with. But this company was known for death matches, known for porn. And this is the real life wrestling mafia, if you know what I mean.
Terrible.
Yeah, no, I remember I saw that. That was fucking crazy. And then he actually even wrestled with his finger missing. And
He
shit.
still wrestles.
Yeah, he still wrestles.
Yeah, he wrestles without a finger.
That fool freaking, if they came and they did that and I was able to out freaking cardio these fools, they would have fucking went, at least one of those guys with the same freaking thing. Somebody would have been missing a damn finger too.
Well, I mean,
I would have bit that bitch off. I don't care.
You know, I gotta say, I just saw a picture of Missy Hyatt, and I don't think I'd lose a finger for her.
No, not at all.
Not at all. No,
Look,
Worst
okay.
day of my life.
Why? He was getting paid.
No, if it was Stacy Keibler, that's a different subject.
Speaking of Vince McMahon, no, okay. It's crazy to think of all the divas and female wrestlers that
Come on
have
out, you rapist!
that have like shared allegations against Vince.
Woo!
Yeah. Did you hear about Ronda Rousey? Did she just came
Yeah.
out and she's like, fuck that piece of
Okay.
shit.
I personally believe that there are a lot of inconspicuous like absences from wrestling that I can't explain why that person left. But if you were to ask me, it makes sense if Vince was this deviant.
Yeah. Sasha Banks, for instance.
That's one.
She never confirmed or denied anything, right? It's just
Right.
like she left, she's never going back. She doesn't want to do with the WWE, right? Naomi left for the same reason, but now she's back.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they threw their titles at Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
So I mean these little details start
Brock
to
threw his title at Vince.
Vince. Yeah.
So they
maybe
fucking Eiffel Tower shit.
Sword fight.
Sword fight. Caucasidal Maniac.
It just these are the types of things that like in wrestling that like don't make. I never understood why Stacy Keibler left. When their popularity is going up, they're going to make more money. So why would they leave? Why would they stop wrestling? Why would they? I mean, especially someone like Stacy Keibler who wasn't really known for matches.
Yeah,
she was known for like kind of coming out. I get that there was a certain level of degradation. Like I said in one of the last OUCHAMANIAs, Lita is someone who got disrespected hard in those last days of her career. Like they were selling her chonies, to the audience. That was a good segment though. Crime Time. And you just see like how they would, Trish having to walk like a dog and
with a neck with a fucking leash.
Vince had this weird angle. If you go back and you watch like in like 2009, 2010, Vince had this weird angle with Candice Michelle where she was his valet and she would always be with him. He did the same thing with Tori Wilson. Candice Michelle was the GoDaddy girl.
I don't know who that is.
When you see her, you probably will remember. But she was totally like eye candy. And then she started to learn to wrestle. She got halfway good. Christy Hemme, same thing. There is a story going around.
I forgot entirely about her.
There's a story.
I didn't know she was a wrestler.
Yeah. There's a story going around that there was a woman who slept with Vince and then all of a sudden got elevated to women's champion. And she was so distraught over what had happened to her that she ended up leaving the company and she never returned and no one knew why. And the only details about this woman is that she was a redhead and she was in Playboy.
Who's that?
Christy Hemme.
Who's Christy Hemme?
You'll recognize her when you see her.
Probably what happened to Paige too. All those deviants over there.
No, she hurt herself. She was hurt.
No, I'm talking about like that happened to her upper management and then the freaking environment, and then she just started doing what she was doing.
Oh,
with the
possibly
upper management with the actual talent.
Yeah, and then she started losing her mind and getting on drugs.
I absolutely don't know who Christy Hemme is.
I'm shocked.
Even looking at her, I
didn't she win? Wasn't she like the Diva Search?
Yeah, she was the first
winner?
Diva Search winner. I thought you would have known because she was around like the Sable, Tori Wilson era, like back then.
Really, I don't.
Yeah, I remember her. I remember her.
I don't.
Yeah, the biggest.
Was she a good wrestler or just I can't?
She got better. She was just at the time with the other caliber women that were in the division. She was good enough to carry the belt, but like she wasn't as good as Trish was in the ring. But
or as good as Amy.
Yeah, at the time she was good enough to carry the belt. At least one of them out of the two.
Yeah,
and she left inconspicuously and. when you start thinking of things like sleeping with upper management, etc., it absolutely makes sense. Like I said, the one story that like hashtag she deserves like better, Ashley Mazzaro. There has been speculation that Ashley Mazzaro, she complained she had a lawsuit against the WWE for being drugged and raped while overseas with the army.
Army, yeah.
And they didn't want to ruin their reputation with the army, so like they told her to drop it. They kind of like screwed her over. She got hardcore into drugs and alcohol until she had her kid, and then
guilt got to her.
Overdose.
Yeah.
But the question that I have, and this is where conspiracy comes in,
or did she get the Benoit treatment?
There you go. Did someone
offer?
Play? Yeah. Because she had a lot of skeletons in the closet that she knew about that she was willing to expose in this lawsuit. And so just kind of like the whole TKO thing, like, hey, if you won't be silent, we'll silence you. And there's a possibility that that's true, but that's the conspiracy theorist to me.
So it says here that Vice News obtained a previously unreleased statement made by the late wrestler Ashley Mazzaro, who died by apparent suicide in 2019, in which she accused WWE founder and executive vice Vince McMahon of sexually preying on female performers and ruining her reputation after she rejected advancements made by McMahon.
I gotta say it again.
Come on out, you rapist!
And concerning Christy Hem, on December 5th of 2005, Hem was released from her WWE contract. The release happened shortly after WWE asked her to relocate to Louisville, Kentucky to train at the OVW. The company cited budget cuts and the creative team having nothing for her as the reason for her dismissal. But, all that could be sus.
Mm-hmm. And it just was conspicuous because she was one of the most popular divas at the time. And
how can you not have stories for the most popular diva at the time? Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. And so these are the kinds of things that women have started to come out and say, like, a few of them have said, I've always had a professional relationship with Vince. He never did anything, wrong to me. But there's so many that started coming out and saying,
Vince
like,
has a type.
I know.
Yeah.
Someone were like, why not me? What the fuck? I want $1 million.
Who said that? I think it was Dawn Marie who said that. She goes, he was always professional with me. Why couldn't he touch me?
Want the money?
I need the payday.
Dawn Marie was badass, dude.
Yeah, she
was fucking badass.
And it's things like that like,
I mean, did you just call her badass after that statement, bro?
No, I mean, dude, no, Dawn Marie.
Timing.
Dawn Marie. I'm talking about Dawn Marie herself.
Redemption tour right now.
No, I don't give a fuck. No. I stand by my comment. She was badass. Dude. I remember her. No, I'm not you. I remember her from back in the days. She was awesome. Right? Save me a seat.
Come on out, you rapist! Stupid idiot!
Anyway, no, she was a badass wrestler. Dude. I always dug her, like her attitude and everything in the ring. Her persona was fucking badass, and I miss a lot of those kind of characters. They don't have them as much as often, and then that's another reason why I stopped watching, because in the attitude area it became like, dude, they were having like bra and panty matches and shit. That's like Lita, who was a fucking awesome performer, Amy Dumas or Dumbass, she was fucking awesome, and then they had her doing fucking a sex scene with Edge on the fucking middle of the ring. That's degrading, dude.
I'm gonna say Teenage Me appreciated it. But
Teenage Me was like, oh yeah, I love it.
Teenage Me appreciates it. Teenage Me appreciates it. Teenage Me appreciates it.
Skeet into a sock.
Disgusting.
Jizz powered.
Jesus power?
Jizz powered, he said.
No. Jesus Christ.
Glaze power.
Teenage Me appreciated it, but also felt like, why?
No, that's how I felt too. I was like, oh, and I'm like, it kind of took away. It made me feel awkward too. Like I was just like, this is inappropriate.
As a valet, I never had a problem with like a valet coming out kind of like dressed sexy, but like in a match,
I don't know. I'm laughing because it's like, why would you? Why would any of us? Like eye candy?
No, I mean it makes sense. Like even with the story, because you're glamorizing this valet like she's so beautiful, and like it's the same reason why the Macho Man fought over Miss Elizabeth.
Hey, I was about get out of my head. I love it. I love it. Fist bump, brother.
Yeah.
I was about to say, dude, like, come on, Elizabeth, man, and she was like
classy.
Oh, dude, I was like 10 years old, and I was in love with that woman. She was beautiful, but she was classy. I remember her coming out like in a bathing suit, but dude,
let me play something. Speaking of Macho Man, real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
This is funny.
We'll wait for you.
Hold on.
Hogan, yeah. You say you don't know where the Macho Man is coming from?
It's getting weird.
You're right. You don't
Each time he
know
says
anything
yeah,
about
they speed
the
it up.
Macho Man, Randy Savage, and where I'm coming from. Because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah. One man could make it to the top of the World Wrestling Federation mountain, yeah. All by myself. No pukesters helping me to the left. And no pukesters helping me to the right. Didn't need them then, don't need them now. And another person I don't need is Elizabeth either, yeah. Because I'm the champion by myself, all by myself. You don't know where I'm coming from, Hulk Hogan, this Sunday afternoon. But I know where you're coming from, yeah. I know everything about Hulk Hogan, yeah. I know what makes you tick, yeah. And you got
Cream rises to the top.
That's the best one.
Top of the mountain.
All I'm saying is, if your rapist sounds like that, then that is terrifying.
I used to play Skyrim modded, and I had a mod where the all the dragons had the head of Macho Man, and whenever they would come out, you wouldn't hear a roar. Instead, you would hear different quotes from Macho Man, like "Oh yeah!" And this perfect timing. He landed on top of a mountain, and he says, "Top of the mountain!" I started crying. Dude, I had to stop the game. I walked away laughing. I couldn't play anymore. I was like, "Damn!"
Fucking awesome, dude.
You guys remember Dexter's Laboratory?
Yeah.
Yes.
You remember the little fake Avengers that they had?
No, I
on the
don't
show?
remember that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
They go up against this intergalactic freaking like conqueror or some shit, and it's voiced by the Macho Man.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's so good.
Hilarious, dude.
And then it's Monkey who beats him. Like,
Yep.
remember, dude, it's a great episode. It's great because
I didn't know
it's
about that.
him at it's Macho Man at 11. He's all, is there nobody worthy of my greatness? Ah, yes, I have met my match. It is Monkey.
That's fucking awesome.
It was great. It was great.
He played Wrestler.
Rastlord, that was his name?
Yeah, he was like this galactic alien who was looking for a match, and he wanted to find his opposition, and so they had the fake Justice League. The fake Avengers go up there and like match him, because he would go from planet to planet looking for someone who could test his might and his skill.
That's
and
hilarious.
the only one that could test him was Monkey.
All right, so I'm gonna play this for you guys so you can see it. Monkey. Everyone starts like he's on the floor and he's playing it up because he's like knocked down. All of a sudden his hand goes up just like a wrestler, and all of a sudden he gets up. Oh, and then I think he says something. Monkey, you show spirit and heart.
That's hilarious.
For this, I honor you. Anyways, okay, let's check that out. So this is that mod I was telling you guys about on Skyrim. Basically, it's just the scene is all of the villagers are waiting down because one guy's about to get executed, and it's the beginning of the game where a dragon comes out. And just listen to who the dragon is.
What was that?
Carry on. Yes, General Tullius. Give them their last rites.
As we commend your souls to Aetherius, blessings of the 8 divines upon you.
For the love of Talos, shut up and let's get this over.
As you wish.
For the love of Talos.
Come on. I
About to
haven't
happen.
got all morning.
So, guy's about to be executed.
Oh.
My ancestors are smiling at me, Imperials. Can you say the same?
Wait for it.
Roll. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. This is the opening of Skyrim. Like, people are just getting executed. It's great.
Okay.
Justice!
You're gonna have to stab me. I'm not just gonna lay
As
there.
fearless in death as he was in life.
It's about to happen.
There it is again.
There it is again.
Those are supposed to be like dragon roars, by the way.
Next prisoner.
To the block, prisoner. Nice and easy.
Here we go.
Oh, this is from your character's first POV.
Yeah.
I've been to the top of the mountain.
And there he is.
Sentries, what do you see? It's in the clouds.
Oh, what kind of dragon? He's got the hat and a Slim Jim.
Every time he blows by, he goes, yeah!
Yeah!
It's such a great mod, dude. It makes the game so
That's
funny.
hilarious.
That's awesome.
You know, and then anytime, like every single encounter with that dragon is Macho Man. And honestly, at the time when Macho Man passed away, I specifically went back and replayed the game with that mod, like because I felt sad, dude. Like Macho Man is like
One of the saddest days.
Yeah, it was one of the saddest
yeah,
things
and so I
in
played the
human
mod to like
history.
smile and laugh about it, and I read online at the time in Reddit, like everyone was doing that too. There was a lot of Macho Man fans who were like doing different things, but a lot of people were playing Skyrim that mod just so that they can kind of like have a funny moment.
I know Hulk Hogan was the more popular one, but I think for me it was always Macho Man and his "Ooh yeah, brother" and all that just sold it for me.
Hulk Hogan was the most recognizable name in history, but I will go on to say that I believe that people loved Macho more.
Yeah,
I will say
agree.
that when people think of wrestling, whether they know it or not, they're thinking of Macho Man.
Yeah.
The
It's
character,
always those two names.
You're right. I mean, Hulk Hogan is iconic because he did movies and he had a character. All that, but Macho Man, who
But
also
he
did
failed
movies,
as movies.
right? But Macho Man, even though he did movies and stuff, everyone remembers his mannerisms, his over the topness, but also how eloquent he was. Like in interviews, man, the things he would say, like he was like, I mean, you know, of course we had other greats, you know, like Nature Boy and all, also putting out good stuff. But Macho Man was just like, he was just like something, dude. He was great.
Imagine Macho Man and Ric Flair at the same time. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
That clip has to exist somewhere,
Has
man.
to, man.
Has to.
Go back to WCW. There were lots of Flair Macho Man face-offs. I will say this. I think the five names that probably come up the most when you mention wrestling is Hogan, Macho Man, maybe Roddy Piper,
I love
the
Roddy
Ultimate
Piper.
Warrior, and Ric Flair.
I never understood Ultimate Warrior. Like when he would talk and stuff, like I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? I never really like his gibberish was just like I just thought he was really intense. I mean, it was steroids, but it was really intense.
You might even be able to switch out Piper for the Undertaker.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
those are the top names.
Well, Piper's still the shit.
Piper
was the
gets highest remarks because he was groundbreaking. Like his promo work in the time when he was like coming up in like when wrestling finally hit TV. Like,
do you remember WrestleMania when he put out what's his name? Morton Downey Jr.'s cigarette with the fire extinguisher? Fucking classic.
See,
you said no to the Macho King, and you shouldn't have done it, but you did it, and it's over with, and you gotta accept the consequences. Yeah, you do.
I'm gonna put that on my little feed, and whenever I go to like a fast food restaurant, and I'm gonna be like, "Do you have ketchup?" And they're like, "No, we're all out of ketchup. I'm sorry." And I'm gonna be like, "You said no, but you didn't. And you didn't."
You know what's funny though? That you could also say that's like in the Bill Cosby voice, and it still works.
Oh, I know that's true.
No,
Yeah,
no,
You retiring
Yes.
it?
Try it.
no.
Try
And then
it.
you got to add something about pudding, bro. Come
You gotta
on.
do the Jello pudding pop
No,
at the end.
this is okay. First of all, we're talking about Bill Cosby. Okay, it's Bill Cosby versus.
you rapist!
Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Vince McMahon, and Jeffrey Epstein walk into a room.
Who's getting raped?
Everyone covers their drinks.
Hide your children. Cover your drinks.
Ripping everybody out.
In a pudding pop.
Oh man. Okay, so on a sad note, dude, I just saw this this clip, or rather read this headline about when Mean Gene Okerlund passed away at his funeral. That nobody showed up, but I'm looking at it and it looks like some people showed up, but it wasn't like the turnout
Seriously?
that. Yeah, it wasn't a a turnout for somebody like that for whatever reason, you know.
I think I remember. Rumor has it. Vince blacklisted him for going to WCW and said that any of the wrestlers under contract could not go.
I think
that's it. Now, why the ones from WCW didn't go? That's a different subject.
So
that's heartbreaking.
You just reminded me, and I just want to take a moment. Shout out Virgil. Virgil recently passed, and I have a story about when I met Virgil. I was at a Comic-Con. It's probably like 99. No, it was later than that. So like 2006, right? And I go to this con, and first of all, I did not fit in. I was totally normal. Like, I was dressed very hip-hop, and I, like, looking around, this is before cons had, like, normal people that would attend. Like, these were the fanatics. And so I'm walking around, and I have this... I don't know if she was a porn star, but like she was, you know, voluptuous, right? And she was a model taking photos with people. And she came over and she's like, "You guys don't look like you fit in here." And I was kind of like, "What?" And
because you're black.
First of all, that's the first thing that came to my head. I was like, "Heifer, what you talking about?" But then I looked and I realized the way I was dressed, I was very trendy and very like, you know, coof. Where everybody else was like in costume. And so I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Fun fact, Jason Mewes from Jay and Silent Bob came over to take a picture and was like totally flirting with the chick. Like, it was pretty cool. I was kind of fanning out at the moment. But then, like, I
look at me, snoochie boochies, bitches.
Shout out Jay. Jay's a national treasure. But I took the photo with the chick because I was a sucker and I fell for the $20. And then I walk like 2 booths down, and it's Virgil, and no one's in his line, no one's talking to him, but he comes over to me and he like hit me on the shoulder, and I thought it was because we were both black. But but he's like, "Hey man, yeah, you see all these fine women out here? Guys like me, you and me know what's up, but like all these other clowns like walking around looking like a Cheerio." Like, and he was like, "Yeah, me and Ted back in the day." Like, and he was just kind of like weird, but he was also very down to earth, where I thought like he was really interacting with fans. And I was like, "Man, you're Virgil." You know,
and he turned and tells you, "I'll suck you."
Okay, I didn't hear that. I don't know what convention you're at.
Come on, let's go behind the booth.
I'll give you an autograph. No, but
I'll give you an NWO. Oh,
and then like years later, I saw the Sad Virgil Reddit, where all these people like just showed him sitting at the booth by himself. And I remember growing up watching Virgil and just, I was never a fan. Let me just be clear. I was never a fan.
You were not supposed to. I mean, it was kind of like...
No, he was a jobber that got...
He was a jobber that got performed.
Yeah. And so I was never really a Virgil fan, but like just the fact that he would acknowledge a person who wasn't directly paying him, and he did the cons because that was his love. His love was to talk to the fans. Everyone who knew him said that he really like... When he turned babyface, when he was in the WWE and he turned on Ted DiBiase, like he really embraced every single person that ever cheered for him. And like that became his obsession. He loved to be loved. And so when he went to WCW and joined the NWO, it was hard for him to be hated. And so he would come out. He was happy to belong and to have a job. But they said it was really hard for him to like embrace being hated, but he was just their jobber. So he would get beat up and people would laugh at him all the time. And then when he quit, you know, he would just talk about the glory days with him and DiBiase or him in the NWO, and anyone who recognized him, he like would really relish a moment where he could just spend a second with them and talk to them.
That's sad.
Yeah. So shout out to Virgil.
Well, that's why I'm playing this.
Yeah. I figured. He was a national treasure.
By the way, another underappreciated talent, Jim Johnston.
Who?
Okay.
Jim Johnston. No, Enrique, you with me on this one? No.
I don't know.
The coach for
WWE Jim Johnston.
Oh, the
Who's
music.
that?
He was the music composer before they started using actual bands. This is Jim Johnston.
You're just kind of making a case against him. This shit sucks.
I was thinking
You need to play something that Jim Johnston did that we loved.
I mean,
That's Jim Johnston?
Okay.
With
All right.
Motorhead.
Okay,
Motorhead
I was
is the
about to
voices.
say, I thought that was Motorhead. You
No.
liar.
No, it is Lemmy, but this Jim Johnston wrote this. Let's play a quick game. Name the song. All right. These are all Jim Johnston's, by the way.
My
but this is name
answer
the
is going
song.
to always be your mom, bro. Your mom.
Let's play the game. Here we go. Next.
And how you play it? Randy Orton.
Yo mama.
Okay.
That was a combination of his first intro and his second.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first part was Ma.
Generation X.
This is Jim
And yo.
Johnston. Shut up.
Okay, well that's I know that.
I don't even have to keep going, do I?
That's Yo, and
I just said
Mama.
and then the other one's Mama.
Go back to your LAX booking or whatever the fuck you were doing over there. All right. Hold on, let me see.
Oh shit, I do know this one. It's not Yo Mama.
Obviously, The Rock.
This
That's
is
cool.
him.
All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, no. I mean, all the stuff I know. I'm just messing with you, man.
The rattlesnake.
This is all him, dude.
It's cool, man. Yeah, but then they turned to like real music and
Oh yeah, it's way better.
The Undertaker.
Yep, that's him.
no, this stuff was iconic, man. Like you heard it, you got excited for it. It's great. I mean, yeah, I never mind licensed music in there, but it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been to replace this. It should have been to accentuate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me see what else. I'll do two more.
How far back does this guy go? Was he there since like the 80s?
From the 80s.
So did he do like stuff like Macho Man's and Hulk Hogan's? Because come on, dude, Hulk
the Macho
Hogan's was
Man
great.
Is
Let's see.
graduation song.
That's true. I don't know what I was thinking there.
He
That's
did.
true. Like he would have had to gone hundreds of years back to do the pop and circumstance.
He had a badass intro theme too.
Who? Goldust?
Yeah.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah. You really felt like gold was shimmering down out of the sky when you heard those like
yeah.
little.
Yeah. Golden showers, bro. Come on, let's be honest. Goldust was weird. It was weird.
I love the character though.
yeah.
I did. Okay.
Like all his innuendos and stuff were hilarious, man.
Mankind. No, that's actually
Okay.
because they used the same opening. For
I recently
Mick Foley.
found out something.
That's Razor.
I recently found out something, and I have to address this. So the death of WCW was a big deal, right? It sold for way less than it was worth. Like it kind of like was synonymous with like the end of my like teenage years and my childhood.
Your innocence.
And there were three names that always came up when the death of WCW came up. Russo's one. Bischoff's two.
Sting.
Hulk
Hogan is three.
Yeah.
Those are the three names that have always been synonymous. People said Hulk Hogan was a politicker and he wanted too much money. People said Bischoff didn't know what he was doing. People said Russo's storylines got really ridiculous and stupid.
Yeah.
Okay? And so these three names were the downfall of WCW. However, I recently found out that there's this butthole named Jamie Kellner.
Sounds like a butthole.
Who was in charge of TNT Dynamite. And he was responsible for canceling shows. And it was his call that they chose to cancel WCW. Now, let me also share with you guys why I hate this guy so much, and I just found out who he is. He also canceled Batman the Animated Series.
Piece of shit. Fuck him.
Animaniacs.
Fucking dick.
Pinky and the Brain.
Hate him.
What the fuck?
And Freakazoid.
That guy's a douche.
He killed my childhood, that piece of crap.
Stupid idiot. Stupid idiot. Stupid idiot. Stupid idiot.
All right, so where is he at now? That's my question.
Hopefully out of the business because he also killed Batman Beyond.
Oh, fuck. That guy's a...
Okay,
Right.
how could you
Take him behind the booth
how could you be responsible for killing that much great product?
and still be employed.
Yeah, thank you.
Where is he now?
You know what?
You're talking?
Let's look up this douchebag.
You're calling him?
Are you calling him right now?
Hold on. I found him. He's right here.
I was pointing a middle finger at me. What time does the flight leave?
At 2:00.
No, 2 fingers. Where is he at?
Yeah.
Where is he at?
I'm gonna track this man down.
Show you where he's at, bro.
Just so you guys know, he was responsible for TBS, TNT, and Cartoon Network. So some of your other favorite shows like Johnny Bravo and Dexter's Laboratory are also names that fall short because of this Kellner guy. I just wanted you guys to know I have found a reason to hate one person.
That's a really fucking evil man. Hitler, move aside because I found my new face of evil.
All I'm saying
Trump,
is,
you're pardoned. This guy.
I just found the point of the conspiracy theory that I have been looking for this entire time. Who killed my childhood?
Dan Schneider, forget that. This guy.
This guy's
got to go.
This guy's got to go. Oh, wait. Fox's founding president? He better not.
Is he the Fox's founding president?
He's now president or ex-executive. Okay. He's I'm trying to find this guy.
But not founding.
I'm going to find
Not founding, because then that means he would be responsible for The Simpsons and Married with Children and
Jamie Kellner. If you try to skip out on the money, I'm going to fine you. I'm going to crown you.
How about did you recognize the song?
Yeah, Val Venis.
Do you think Val Venis should be in the WWE 2K24?
He needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
I carried. Hello, ladies.
Just for his Titantron video. Have you ever seen the Titantron? No. Oh, go look that up. It is hilarious. That is.
I don't think I want to.
The Titantron used to be a thing. They used to play a video whenever someone would come to the ring, and it would always show their highlights, but it would also specify like their quirks in their character profile. So whenever like all those iconic people that you know the music that you just played, they all had a Titantron that matched who they were. And so Val Venis is probably one of my favorites. Him and The Godfather have some of the funniest like clips in there because obviously The Godfather is a pimp. Yeah. So can you imagine what's on his Titantron? Like, get out of here.
Remember when he became Goodfather?
Yeah.
He was in the Right to Censure, wasn't he? Or was he just like side to Right to Censure?
Anybody. Okay, so when they tried to go PG, anybody who was who was risque at any point, in order to dumb them down, they started this group called Right to Censor, and so they became like the board of directors, or like, you know, we got to clean it up. And so they turned all the good guys who were perverts and deviants to like these Mormons.
I remember.
All right, so I just want to take it back to WrestleMania for a little bit. What storylines besides Cody and The Rock and Seth are you guys excited about?
Your mom. That's what I'm excited about.
You know, my mom's an exciting person. She's very lovely, and I think that you showing her the respect she deserves is much appreciated. So thanks, bro. Thanks. Unlike your mom who likes to give it. Your mom's a lovely person. Anyway, so the Kabuki Warriors. I'm wanting an unexpected tag team match.
The Rock and
Cody,
no. The Rock and Roman.
Let's go in order. Let me go first.
Versus Blanca Belair, Naomi. I'm making that prediction.
Wait.
You think that's going to be the one?
Give it to me. Wait, what was it?
So there's a lot of seeds being planted for like an unexpected women's tag team championship match. I feel like that's going to happen
because of last night, the whole attack Naomi.
Yeah,
Bianca Belair
Asuka
and Kairi Sane versus Blanca Belair and Naomi.
That there's a big possibility of that, but there's also like they're pushing women's tag teams really hard right now. So they're either going to do a number one contenders like 5-woman tag team. One of the things about WrestleMania is they try to get as many wrestlers on the show as possible because that's a big payday. As everyone tunes in for WrestleMania, if you're on the show, you get a check. So the WWE has always been good about getting as many. That's why they always have a battle royal. That's why they always have like these multi-man matches, because they're trying to get as many people paid for that payday, because it's a huge payday. It can be millions of dollars if you're at the top of the card. If you have a marquee match or a big name match, you can get $1 million off of that. And if you're a nobody and you barely make anything, you still make like $650,000. So it's a nice check.
As it is nice. Let's do a quick rundown of what's been announced already. LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
I am not excited for that, as I should be. I wanted LA Knight to face Logan Paul.
I agree. That's exactly what I was going to say because the AJ. I love AJ. I love AJ. I love LA Knight. I think they're great. That's not the angle that I wanted to go with. That's not the storyline I wanted for them.
Yeah,
either one of them. I think it's kind of like a slap to both of them.
Well, the current match, I had Logan Paul versus
hold
Randy
on.
Orton and Kevin.
I have them here, but let's go one by one.
Well, okay.
All right, hold on a minute. Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship 6-pack Tag Team Ladder Match.
It was thrown together. It's the reason for them to. I don't know what they're gonna do with Damian Priest. I just
George.
Just
nothing on that one. Don't care.
He knows The Rock is facing Cody Rhodes.
That's all he cares about. That's right.
Like I was checking out who basically the card. Like
that's what I'm doing right now.
Wait, I want to know what Enrique was going to say though.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, you guys were talking about Logan Paul. I was just going to ask, the alternative. Are you guys even interested in that one? That's all.
Yeah. We'll get to that one.
So on that note, I will say this. I think Randy Orton versus Logan Paul is a great match. I don't see the benefit of Randy Orton beating Logan Paul. So Logan Paul has to win that match.
But isn't it a 3-way match with Kevin Owens as well?
Who?
Yes.
So it's has that raised up the stakes on that?
No,
not really, because it doesn't elevate Kevin Owens either. I think I probably would have preferred to see Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. I think that probably would have been a better match. And then your triple threat would have been Randy Orton, LA Knight, and Logan Paul. That would have probably worked a little bit better for me.
Next up, we have Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso.
Okay, I'm emotionally invested in this. Yeet versus no yeet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing, George. It's a thing. But
you don't know what yeeting is?
Skeet. I'm kidding.
So, main event Jey Uso breaks away from the bloodline because he gets betrayed by his brother during a title match with Roman. And so Cody brings him over to Raw. He starts his new catchphrase, which is not new, but it's yeet. And then just ironically, over the last couple of months, his brother has shown up to screw up his matches and has been trolling him. So as main event Jey Uso has yeet, now Jimmy Uso has no yeet. So what side do you fall on? Are you a yeeter or are you a not yeeter?
Derek Jeter. Moving on. Next one. Intercontinental Champion Gunter versus Sami Zayn. I don't care about Sami Zayn. There, I said it. Neither Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn do I care about. I whenever they're on, I check out.
Okay.
They have no persona. I mean, I get it. They are true fans. I get it that they grew up together and all that, which is awesome. But if I wanted to see, you, Doyle, and George wrestle, I'd have more fun than watching Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Well,
although you're starting to look like Kevin Owens, buddy. Just saying.
Oh, that's messed up. You know what? The thing about those guys is that they get beat all the time. And they do a lot of spots, like AEW and stuff. And so it's hard to really get emotionally invested in their stories. They just beat the crap out of Sami Zayn like 100 times.
Drew McIntyre and everyone else did it.
Yeah, the most fun or the most invested I was in Sami was last year when him and Owens went against the Usos at WrestleMania because he was coming out of the bloodline. That all made sense because they built into it. And the Sami Zayn stuff with the bloodline was great. And since they won after they won the tag titles, it was like whatever. They didn't build him up to be.
No.
Well, the March 11th match he had the six superstar gauntlet, and he ended up surviving that. I mean, you don't think that gave him some momentum into the upcoming match?
It does, but like the rest of the fans, the one who I was the most emotionally invested in was Chad Gable.
Yeah,
which that
would have been better.
It's not to say that won't turn into a triple threat, but I feel like throughout the year I've seen Chad Gable come this close to beating Gunther, and so when it came down to Sami Zayn and Chad Gable, like even the fans, like there's been a ruckus online about something happening because everybody wants to see Chad Gable get his moment, and this is not. Even if he lost to Gunther at WrestleMania, the audience really wants him to get a moment because he works really hard. If there's ever been anyone who's close to Kurt Angle, it's Chad Gable.
Yeah. Logan Paul versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. We already touched on that right now because when you guys jumped ahead. So
but you know what? No, it's called organic conversation. It's nice when it happens. So you know what?
I got your organic.
Yeah. You know, there's some cream for that, bro. Didn't we talk about this?
You
few
are a
episodes
rude,
ago?
terrible person.
But I'm also interesting. And you know what? I don't like you right now. Shut up.
Yeah.
So, the other thing about Logan Paul right now, because I hate that guy, but I actually want to watch this match. Like, I actually genuinely want to watch this match because I've been digging how he sells his character.
Can you dig it?
And so
he's actually a really good wrestler.
Yeah, and he's you know, all of the villainy that he's like cultivated in the past like 6 years. I mean, dude, every like antic that he's done on social media and YouTube, like I had to deal with because I had students that love him. There was this one student of mine who came in with one of his sweaters, you know, the one with the parakeet like symbol or whatever it is. And I remember talking to him like, what is that? And he goes, I'm from the Jake Paul squad. I'm like, no, you're not, bro. What are you talking about? And then, you know, that whole thing that happened with him in Japan where he went into the suicide force. And like, dude, like I remember having to unpack that for like my students because they had lots of questions. So like this guy is somebody I don't like.
I don't like the Pauls at all.
But I want to watch this match. I mean, and not because I have any like, you know, shot and fraud where I want him to lose or nothing. It's entertaining. I think because of what it is, I'm kind of looking forward to it.
I gotta say, like, I hate the Paul brothers. I do. I despise them as what they stand for.
Logan
that Mike Tyson fight coming up, though, I'm kind of stoked about that on Netflix.
But the Logan
Tyson kills it.
I want that to happen.
He's not going to because it's paid. It's paid, so it's not going to happen. But
no, dude, Mike Tyson is unhinged when he comes out.
It's the Floyd Mayweather thing where like everyone was always vote on bet on what's his name, Jake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, bet on Jake because it's a promotion
and it's run by him.
So the promotion makes money if there's a reason for him to fight. If there's a part 2 to him and Tyson. If there's another fight down the line that the promotion keeps getting paid.
So here's my prediction on that particular fight. I feel like Mike Tyson wasn't prepared for how much interest is on this, and so you can see him like more like animated than usual. And this guy is somebody who like has had years to sort of calm down, but you've seen the footage of him a few years back where he like you know got into it with like a random guy at a airport because the guy was being a douchebag. Like Mike Tyson is unhinged. I'm sorry, but
he does.
Picking on him.
Are you guys saying that Mike is gonna take the fall?
No, not at all.
He's gonna snap.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen is that he's the Joker in this situation.
Yeah.
Like you can't you make a deal with the Joker and you're always gonna get burned. In every comic storyline, whenever that's happened, like a Robin ends up dead. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, Mike Tyson, like they made a deal with him and they think they can control him, and I have a feeling that match is gonna show
Jake Paul's
not gonna happen.
Okay, there was a Mike Tyson interview where he talked about like that guy, and he talks about how he doesn't want to be that guy anymore, and what he would do in his preparation for the fight is he would become that guy. Like if he was possessed, like he would say he would go into this animalistic rage where he was unhinged, and so the reason he doesn't spar or box anymore is because that guy starts coming out and then he can't control
that allegedly they sparred just to get a little familiar with one another.
I don't think that happened.
I don't know.
I can't confirm nor deny, but what I'm saying is that allegedly during the spar that they were obviously just messing around, and then Jake was tagging Tyson as much as Tyson.
It would
was
only take
him.
one.
Apparently, in this story, not Jake, Logan mentioned something about some like troubles that he was having in his career previously. I don't know, who knows what it was, but allegedly it was enough to get this fool upset to where that switch changed. That switch in his mind like went, and that fool just clocked Logan a good one and put him out cold.
I believe it.
No, if it happened, I do believe it, but I don't think it.
And going back to your point about the Paul brothers in wrestling, I think that naturally we all hate them. Yeah. We all hate them, but that's why they work in wrestling because they're heels. Yeah. There's somebody you're supposed to hate, and there's somebody you're supposed to cheer for.
Yep.
When it comes to Randy Orton, it's very easy to cheer for the guy because everybody loves the RKO, and we all want to see it, and everybody wants to see Logan get an RKO, point blank.
True.
And I guarantee that the reason why I actually enjoy, I'm a fan of Logan now that he's in wrestling. I'm not a fan of anything else he's done. Screw
Amen.
Prime,
Exactly.
That's disgusting. But shout out to Optimus Prime. And the thing is that he's willing to take a move like that spot with him and Ricochet at the Royal Rumble where they jumped into each other. He will take an RKO. That's going to be awesome.
Epic. Oh, he knows how to sell, dude. Totally.
He probably is still going to win the match because it's better for him, but you know.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing. One thing I'll say. That's the thing about Logan Paul. He knows how to sell things. That's probably why I like him as much in wrestling.
Next match. Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch.
Logan
Paul. No, I'm just kidding.
I like it. It's not the challenge that Charlotte was last year for Rhea, but I like it. It's what should happen.
George,
I haven't seen very much of Rhea's matches lately, so in that I'm gonna have to side with Becky. But
everyone likes an underdog, right? Lynch has been like battling confidence issues the past few months. She's like been losing, but then she had like that kind of win. So I think that right now Becky Lynch has got momentum on that one. I feel like that one. I feel like she's the one. But Rhea Ripley's pretty good.
Rhea's still a part of that group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Judgment Day.
Yeah.
I agree 100% with what Enrique said.
Unpopular opinion. I don't think Becky Lynch is the greatest wrestler.
No, for sure.
Because she doesn't lay her hits in. Like it always looks like she's just kind of like tapping you when she hits you, and I can't stand that in any wrestler. In a guy, in a girl, whatever.
Her hits are weak. Everything else is great about her, but the hits are very weak. I do agree on that.
Strong
100%.
promo, strong character, totally belongs where she's at.
She's got to work on her punch, dude.
Yeah.
She really does.
Yeah.
She really does. The next one, O.U.C.H versus Bayley.
I am less invested in this than I am in the Becky Lynch match. I think it's Bayley's time, so she belongs in that spot. The damage control stuff is kind of too much. Like it's making the match kind of secondary to the damage control versus Bayley kind of split up. And so it takes away from the match for me. I would love to see Bayley take out damage control so that they're not involved in the match.
Enrique?
Yeah, so I think that Bayley, after winning the Royal Rumble, and typically when you win the Royal Rumble, you kind of go into these WrestleMania matches with a lot of momentum. I think historically they tip the hat towards that winner, but I mean, there's been exceptions, of course. So I feel like she's the one to watch in that one, and I'm kind of excited about that match. I mean, women's wrestling in general is fun to watch.
I love O.U.C.H. I think she's fucking awesome. She does this amazing maneuvers that are just like, wow, the whole trash can thing that she did and she jumped off. Fucking awesome, the moonsault. George, anything on this one or no?
Nah, I mean, I'm more of a Bayley fan, obviously, than O.U.C.H.
I can't stand Bayley.
I mean, I couldn't stand Bayley in her face run with the fucking flailing inflatable wacky arm guys.
Oh,
that was trash.
I missed all that, but I just don't like that.
It's because they kind of buried her. There was a match where she was supposed to be like, I'm going to get you back. And she was like, I don't want to hurt anybody. What? What did you just say?
You know
and
what?
it killed it. It killed it for her. And then she had this personality change. And she came out a little bit more aggressive, and then the fans were behind.
Yeah, I like that she got a chance to go ahead and come out of her little zone that they had placed her in with her heel run and be a little bit more creative with that.
That's true. But you know what makes Bailey's good? Little side of Guinness.
I call it the Baileys.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You know they don't call them Irish car bombs anymore. That's like derogatory.
Is that bad?
That's
you could
terrible.
you just
I will never call it anything else.
I want to.
Right?
I want to
an
create a
Irish
drink.
car bomb. Sorry, we can't say that. We call them now on whatever they replaced it with.
car bombs.
Just regular car bomb.
You just can't call them Irish anymore because
I want to make a drink.
Terrorism.
Then how do you know I want Guinness?
I want to make a drink called the Wetback.
No, actually, what
With
are
some
they
kind of
called?
tequila.
I guarantee there's already one.
Yeah, with a tequila.
The
Mexican Wetback.
Whoever names drinks is either a pervert or weird.
You could do better.
No, I can't.
They're either a pervert or a terrorist or a horrible racist because all drinks are named after one of
combination
the
of that.
three. Yeah.
Next one up. Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
I love them both, but I really don't care about this match at all. That's all I'm saying.
It's taking a secondary place to the bigger main event, which we'll talk about in a second. But it's McIntyre's time. Point blank, period.
I agree.
He's doing great work right now. There's never been a better moment to just it's time.
Yeah,
and it's kind of
DM hunk.
It's not. It's not. Actually, that's what's supposed to be down the line.
Yeah.
I can foreshadow and see this. That the reason why the time to put the belt on Drew McIntyre is because you can have baby faces that'll challenge him and chase him. He can defend the title all the time, and then when CM Punk is healthy and he comes back, then that's your big marquee match, probably at SummerSlam.
Well, the thing with McIntyre is like his methods, dude. Like when he knocked out Logan Paul and what's his name with the brass knuckles. I mean, come on, that's fun. So yeah, I think he's got a lot of momentum in that. So yep. Oh, and by the way, they're called Irish Slammers.
Irish Slammers now,
and Dublin Drops.
Hell,
so you're gonna put them in jail, huh?
Or Irish Bombs,
and that's better.
Irish Bombs is still derogatory though.
No, you have to remove the car part to make it less offensive because
that's so stupid.
So the car bombs is.
So instead of,
I guarantee the IRA was very happy to.
Is that their hard R?
If you're like imagine yourself on a Sunday walking from church to your house and all of a sudden a car explodes next to you, you'd be like, yeah, I think we should call them slammers.
No, I don't care.
Stupid.
Damn that.
There's someone in Boston who's offended right now. Did you not see my work?
You mean Boston? Boston. Okay, moving on.
You bastard.
We have the next one. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins.
That will be your main event of night one.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock's gonna totally betray what's his name because the end game is always gonna be The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Dude, sorry.
Here's
agreed.
There can't be two big dogs.
There are two questions coming out of this match, and this is gonna be this is what sold Mania. The two questions is who turns on who? Roman turns on The Rock or The Rock turns on Roman? That is the question because you can either turn you can turn Roman into a babyface, and if Roman's around to wrestle a little bit, he can start going through each member of the bloodline. The Rock can bring in new members of the bloodline, and then The Rock becomes what he's calling himself,
the final boss.
Mm-hmm. And they've been trying to figure out how do you make Roman sympathetic and a good guy to the fans for so long that this might be it.
Well, that's also why he brought up last night calling Seth his little brother.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. So
it could be
to reignite that whole Shield angle.
Now, there's a match that's never happened. For the record, Seth Rollins has never lost to Roman Reigns. Never. And so when they were at the press conference, Seth, when he was walking towards the back, he screamed at Roman, "I own you. You've never beaten me, and I'll beat you again if I have to." But that match has never happened at WrestleMania. Woo! So could be forecasting to 41 if The Rock is not available. The Rock versus Roman could be at SummerSlam. The Rock could stay heel. I don't know how you keep The Rock heel though, because he's so beloved by the fans that they're already cheering for him again. Mm-hmm. When people hated him and booed him and wanted to like boycott WWE because they thought they ruined 40 with The Rock versus Roman, he at the press conference, you can tell that they waited. They waited to see what was going to happen. When The Rock came out, they started booing. And there was a moment where he had the mic in his hands and he kind of squinted his eyes and looked around and kind of like, okay, I have to lean into this. And so he had promos ready either way. He was either going to lean in as a good guy because maybe this was a one-off thing, or he was going to lean into it as a bad guy. And he totally leaned into it as a bad guy. So that shout out to The Rock.
He had to learn that whole experience from the match with Hogan.
Yeah. But that's what makes him as good as he is that other wrestlers can't hang with because...
I'm going to finish your thought. I was raising my hand so that you know that I want to ask something.
Okay. That is something that's forever missing. When, for example, we hate Logan Paul. We want to boo him. Imagine them trying to tell us that he's a good guy. We would still boo him. And so if he doesn't like listen to the audience hating his freaking guts and then switching his personality, then he would never elevate himself in the world of wrestling. So what The Rock did, and The Rock is smart, he saw all these people booing him for the sake of Cody. And what he does is he comes out and he calls them all Cody crybabies. And then he leans into being this bad guy and he brings back a persona that was only used for like 6 months. Hollywood Rock. And it totally works. Mm-hmm. And it's perfect. And this is the reason why the audience is now starting to cheer him, because this is the role that they want to see him versus Cody.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that question. So I'm glad you finished that thought, because my question really is like in terms of Roman Reigns, like I'm like racking my brain. Like I know he's like the longest title holder, but I can't recall a time in any of those years that I really liked him. Like, I mean, I get he has a character, people like him, but why? Whereas The Rock, I loved him as like a, you know, ambiguous good guy. I love him as a obvious bad guy, and he knows how to sell both sides. So the fact that he's really went into this character has been great. I want to see that to completion, and I love the fact that he's calling himself the final boss. I mean, that sets up a lot of really cool little storylines below, because guess who you're fighting towards? The final boss, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like all the fantasy matches that people created about Mike Tyson is like, well, you know, how would the question for like the last 20 years have been, well, how would he have done against Mike Tyson at his prime? And so right now I'm wondering, like, well, how does Roman Reigns transition into any other character? Because I can't recall a time liking him before this, you know, version that he is in. How can he transition into a good guy or even an ambiguous good guy? I don't see it.
Because sympathetically, if The Rock turns on Roman and the entire bloodline turns on Roman, then the audience will be like, oh, he got screwed. That's not fair to Roman. And like, especially if Roman loses and the way he loses, you know, the audience is going to sympathize with him.
Redemption story.
Yeah, he's spent so much time in WWE for The Rock to come in and kind of be privileged and cheat Roman. Like, the fans will be like, oh, bullcrap.
It's the John Wick storyline, guys.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to make him the guy who's going to come back for revenge. That's you know, kind of when
and he doesn't have
way,
to be there all the time for it, so it works with his schedule and it works with The Rock's schedule.
Very cool.
The Rock is still using his classic theme right now, right?
Oh, dude, you got to
the
check
combination,
out
man.
You got to look at his most recent like intro.
It's cool.
It got sick.
You remember when he first went to Hollywood and came back with his?
He's using that.
It's a combo.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
a combo.
telling you, you gotta watch his last entrance.
Just do a YouTube search.
Yeah, just a YouTube.
That's like 5 minutes of your time. Trust it's worth.
I was blown away.
Goosebumps.
I go, oh, dude, that's sick. It was like they added elements of everything, and then they elevated it in a way that I didn't think they could do with The Rock.
Yeah.
I have a question too about those intros. Like, you know how they have like, it almost looks like a hologram image. Is that, do the people there see it, or is that just done for the TV broadcast?
That's just the TV.
Because I mean, that sort of thing is possible in real life. I mean, they do them in all these other showing events and stuff.
On the screens, they have like these weird screens and stuff. So when it like flashes and it says like, oh, the American Nightmare, and then they have like Cody Rhodes' logo, you can see it on the giant screen.
Okay.
But you can't see it in the theater.
Got it.
If they were to do some kind of like a fogger or something and then project it on it, you would be able to see it. That'd be kind of cool.
There's tons of video footage of that exact effect being done in real life. It's not impossible. People do it.
Bray Wyatt projected stuff down from the ceiling to the screen or to the ring, which was cool. Cool.
Good stuff. Well, we ran out of time though, guys. So
it's good talk though. I'm excited. Can't wait for WrestleMania.
Cody, I need you to finish this story because I'm sick of it. I need you to be Roman. Let's just open a new chapter.
He's like, this story is becoming a nightmare.
Yeah, what's so
An American nightmare, huh?
See what you did there.
Clever girl.
I need Asuka to win, man. I need her elevated. She's the best.
I love Asuka. I second that.
That's
my girl.
That tag team match. Somehow she's gonna defend the tag team titles. She's kind of low key injured, so they might take the belts off of her so she can get some rest.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she takes that advice
hopefully
because she's
not.
hardcore, dude.
I want her to break away from Damage Control because she was the most dominant woman.
She was better on her own.
She actually beat Goldberg's streak in being undefeated for so long that they thought that they were trolling Goldberg with Asuka. And so, but Asuka's a national treasure because when she beat Goldberg's streak, she tweeted like, oh, you know, like, shout out to Goldberg who came before me and this is an honor, yada, yada, yada.
International treasure, my guy.
Oh, yeah.
Good one. Good one. Enrique, anything to say?
No, I've said it already. I'm excited for all the individual matches. Logan Paul, Asuka for sure. Want to see her rise up and want to see what happens with this Rock story and Cody and Seth. I want to see its completion and then see what the next level is. Wrestling's looking really good and looking up. The next year is going to be interesting.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So remember, go to ouchcast.com for all things ouchie.
Ouchies.
Ouchies. And then call us, please. Leave us voicemails, please. I'll suck you. Area code 925-421-6824. That is 925-421-6824.
Don't forget.
That again, he will suck your banana.
I never said that.
And he will make eye contact.
I'll make eye contact.
Don't forget about your mama.
My mama. We love your mama.
You know, you guys share birthdays, by the way, so that's how I never forget.
Well, that's why your mama has some drama.
No, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. And then remember?
Don't buy any unripe bananas yet.
OUCHAMANIA. Don't buy any unripe bananas.
Good night, everybody.